An alien planet all to yourself. Beautiful vistas, waterfalls, forests, and wildlife. It sure would be a shame if someone exploited all these natural resources for the gain of a faceless corporate overlord. Well, hey y'all, welcome back to the Warp Zone. I'm Mellow Joe, and today we're taking a look at Satisfactory. Satisfactory was released in early access back in 2019 and got a full release last year. The game has seen a few changes since early access, but retains all the core elements that really make this one shine. Coffee Stain Studios, who also did the Goat Simulator series, have put their unique brand of humor on this open-world base builder factory simulation. Games that have the ambition to combine so many elements rarely do them all well, often excelling in some areas and falling short in others. Let's take a look at how Satisfactory stacks up. Early game starts you out like many other base building games, manually gathering the resources to make things. Starting off, the game feels a little grindy, but that's kind of the point. Automation is key in advancing your research for improvements. The game nudges you along with some tech trees that allow you to advance to more complicated items, but it doesn't rush you. There's no time limit or any kind of race against some arbitrary clock. You can take as much time as you need to soak it all in, or you can build at maximum efficiency if that's more your jam. You might play this game very differently than I do and still love it every bit as much. Early on, you're a bit limited with your options. My early builds looked like a spilled bowl of spaghetti, completely chaotic to anyone but me. Over time, I found myself having to solve problems of my own creation and setting personal goals in addition to the tech tree goals. My first factory deposited all of the items in a central location. It was a great idea at first. I soon outgrew the space and I wanted to redesign the whole thing. Part of the beauty of this game is the problem-solving element, even when you have no one to blame but yourself for all the problems you've created. As the parts you need become more complicated, your factories become more intricate as well. Trying to get everything you need, keeping the machines running, and sometimes saying a prayer that your shiny new thing isn't going to crash your whole power grid. Build mode feels very intuitive to me, and once I had some time in it, it felt like being a painter with an open world as my canvas. As you've seen so far, this is a really beautiful game. Stunning alien environments with colorful biomes, a clean UI, and an overall look that takes advantage of Unreal Engine 5. You'll need a beefy PC to max out the settings, but the good news is that it'll run just fine and still look okay even if your PC is kind of falling behind the times, I guess. You don't need a full-on gaming rig to run this one. The soundtrack has some unlockable bangers you may find yourself adding to a playlist outside of the game. The machines, they're really loud when you're standing right next to them, adding to the atmosphere by breaking your concentration when you're trying to come up with a solution to the latest pickle you've put yourself in. Occasionally you'll hear from your AI sidekick Ava, who's there to deliver comic relief in the form of snark that only Coffee Stain can pull off. The game itself is stable and for me rarely ever crashed. The map is huge, so huge in fact that players in the Satisfactory community have expressed shock and surprise when they figured out that the starting locations you choose at the beginning are all on the same map, not different maps as many of them thought. You can progress to the end game elements and see less than half of the map, so it's understandable why somebody would think that. We're getting to the part of the video where I normally find something to nitpick about or offer suggestions for improvement. And the problem is they fixed everything on my list in the 1.1 patch. And they even added some new items that I hadn't even thought of. Satisfactory has a very active community in pretty much every corner of the internet, and the developers at Coffee Stain don't just listen to them, but they're a part of the community they've fostered. I found playing Satisfactory to feel incredibly rewarding. Not just the milestones in the game, but all the random goals that I set for myself and achieved. Whether it's reworking my early chaotic builds into aesthetically pleasing architecture, constructing a highway complete with signs, engineering a whole train route, making a gift shop for all my weapons manufacturing, or building a robust hypertube network. They're all goals that I set for myself, with none of it being required to advance in the game. To me, that's what really sets this game apart and makes it go beyond simply satisfactory. This game is rewarding and oh so satisfying. It quickly became one of my all-time favorites, and I don't say that lightly. I highly recommend this to, well, anyone really, but especially if you like Factorio and other games like it. This one's a great one for the dads out there too. You can always pick up where you left off, so it lends itself well to players who may find themselves short on time. I have to tell you though, the hardest part of this game is putting it down. So when 3 a.m. rolls around and you have to work the next day, don't say I didn't warn you. You don't have to take my word for it either. This game has nearly 200,000 reviews on Steam, with 97% of them being positive, earning Coffee Stain Studios a coveted, overwhelmingly positive rating. Do yourself a favor and add this one to your library. That's going to do it for this edition of the Warp Zone. I'm Mellow Joe. Hop down in the comments, maybe show me some of your builds. I'd love to see that. Would you like to take a world tour of mine? Let me know in the comments if that's something you might find interesting. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.